I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is All the Mods 9, and today we jump into the other, and I have one of the best modes of transportation, I think. I hope you guys are ready. Today is the day, that's right, that we jump into the other dimension and actually do some exploring. And today we should be able to upgrade our gear from our current vibranium all the way to unobtainium. But we are going to have to look for a smithing template, and there's several things that I'm going to have to get my hands on before we jump into that dimension. Now, I'm going to come into this with the assumption that everything flight related is disabled, so I'm not even going to attempt to create anything that is going to bypass the fact that this dimension, the other, is preventing you from flying. So unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be. And I would love for you to let me know down in the comments below. What do you think about this dimension being prevented from flight? Is it something you enjoy? Is it something that you don't? I'm going to look at it from the perspective of this kind of forces you to do things that you wouldn't normally do if you already had flight available. Now, this is why up to this point, I have been sort of prepping myself with some very strong gear to hopefully prevent me from dying in this dimension, because I do know that these mobs can be very dangerous. So and they're going to overwhelm you. So we have some spells that will hopefully help us in this case. But I'm also going to need a dimensional card. I want to have access, by the way, to my network while we're there, so that way we don't get overwhelmed with a bunch of loot and fill up all of our backpacks, because I know we're going to be collecting a lot of gear, and I really want to make this worthwhile. So infinity range upgrade is going to be great, and that's going to lead us into the dimensional card. And if I remember correctly, I think this uses about 8,000 RF per tick on your system in order to run. And we are going to have to change our current access term or transmitter from reborn storage to a normal one. So this is going to be pretty cool having access to this. I do eventually want to upgrade to applied energistics, so definitely hold me on my word to that. And I also still, if I know you're looking for some adventure, I still want to dabble a little bit more in the Stargate mod, which we are going to get into. There's just so many mods in this pack, and I wanted to get to a point where we have our resources now set up, so that way when we're exploring and doing all of those other really fun things, we definitely have our resources sort of building up in the background, because this pack does require a ton, and I mean a ton, of some resources, such as nether stars and many other things. So there we go. We now have a dimensional card, and I don't remember, yes, I do have this on autocraft, so I can just simply craft that up. And then we just need to replace the one that we have with the regular refined storage one. Because if I remember correctly, this doesn't quite work. So if I put this upgrade in here, notice it does say 1,000, but I'm pretty sure it's not working at all. So let's go ahead and remove this one from reborn storage and replace it with our wireless one from normal. Then we put this in here, and now it'll be infinite, but we notice a power surge. Okay, and I know why. I know why we have this power surge. It's because we need an ender gate, specifically a blazing version on the back here, because in the back is where I currently have this set up. So as soon as I put that on, we should be carrying enough power to be able to help this. And if we look at how much power this is drawing now, we will see it is exactly like I said, 8,000 RF for the card, and just simply 8 for having the wireless transmitter on there in general. Perfect. I also went ahead and added some stack upgrades into this. That's where all my items went, and the magnet upgrade. That's going to help keep our inventory clean. We're in the other fighting other mobs and getting a little messy, because it's going to generate a ton of item drops on the ground. Now we're looking for a very specific template in this dimension. So taking a look at the Unobtainium section, which is the last bit of our Unobtainium piece, we need this template. So this can be found, it says, as loot inside of the libraries in the other dungeons, which is pretty darn cool. And I've explored these a lot in other All the Mods packs. And this was actually one of the areas that I had featured in several thumbnails in the past that showcased how to get mythic loot from those chests. And I'm hoping you can still get mythic loot from this, so we can even further expand on the power of our gear from last episode. But this thing right here is what we're looking for. And we don't have to sift for it or anything like that. We simply just need to find it inside of those chests. And we've already gotten ourselves the Unobtainium, so we should be good there. turns out it's actually obtainable, believe it or not. And so it should be pretty straightforward for us to go get it. So now this is going to lead me into a problem that I don't really have a good way of solving, and I'm not even going to try and use ours in here right now. But that is being able to move around, right? So normally you would use blocks. We'd use our jetpack to go up and down. I have no problem going straight, but it's the up and down that we're going to have a problem with. And so I guess we're just going to have to take our time as we go to find these structures, and we're going to need a structure compass. But first, let's actually just go to the other, right? I think I have my structure compass on me. If not, then we're going to definitely need to get it on us. Structure compass. There we go. I definitely need that. That's going to be helpful for us. It's going to be really hard to find some of these structures without this. But we need to go to the nether. And this is where, this is how we actually get to the other. So you place a teleport pad in this dimension, and I do have to have my shield unequipped. And then we're going to right click, and this takes us into this dimension. Now, flight is disabled. So even though my chest piece has elytra flight, I can't use it. It literally falls off and forces you to stop gliding. Now, another thing some people have said is that you can toggle on and off your jetpack because it automatically toggles it off. But apparently you can just hold down that key, and apparently that's supposed to work. Doesn't really seem like it does to me. But like I said, I don't even want to try and bypass. I have other solutions. Now, because we spawned down here, the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get ourselves a hole going up. So I believe an escape tunnel is the best way to do that. And so I'm just going to generate an escape tunnel just like this. And that makes for a pretty easy passage through here. Just like so. And now we can work our way up to the surface. Now that I'm at the top, I actually plan on using waystones to teleport back and forth into this dimension. So me marking this location is not very important. I don't need to worry about coming back here because I can always go there from the nether. So I'm not even going to worry about marking anything. Instead, whenever we find a structure, that's where I want to put my waystone. But I do want to test some things out. I haven't got to test out yet how powerful my gear is, but we do one-shot blazes. So that's good to know. Wither skeletons, one shot. And we also no longer have a cooldown on our swing. So we're like 1.8 version of Minecraft like right now, or below that, where we can just simply spam right click and it is going to apply so much. I don't even know if that 22 attack damage is actually the amount that we're doing. So it's really hard to tell. We don't have the dummies mod in here that lets us like hit things. At least I didn't see anything like that in there. But now let's go ahead and see if we can find a structure. So let's go ahead. Oh, if I didn't actually activate the cooldown, let's go ahead and we will shift right click, and we just need to look for all the mod. And for example, here's the ancient pyramid, but the ancient pyramid is not where we're going to actually find those libraries. We need to go to the Unobtainium dungeon. So let's select that and then right click. And it might take a little bit of time as it locates the structures because they can be very far away from where you spawn in. But we're going to locate one of these, hopefully give it a little bit of time. Okay. Apparently it's more than 10,000 blocks out. So maybe what we can do is let's try, instead of this dungeon, let's try Piglin Village. Is that what we're looking for? No, Piglin Villages are underground. The pyramid is where we will find the piglich. So maybe we can locate one of those potentially. This could be a very tedious process. It's already seeming like it's having a hard time finding them. Oh, this would be a good thing for me to test while this is working. Oh, did it find it? No, it still has not found it. Let's see. Oh, I can't get up there. That's going to be another thing I've got to get used to. Is that a witch? Oh gosh, this is going to be difficult. Okay, so I managed to get the structure compass to locate it. It says it's 7,000 blocks out in this direction. Now, walking there, even though I'm okay at speed, it's not going to get it done. So instead, what we can use is actually something from this mod that seems very, very powerful. And I'm curious as to how this is going to work. Now, I know that I can dash, right? But that doesn't really solve this problem of being very slow. Instead, what we can probably do once we get out of this forest is we can summon a horse. So the summon horse steed from this mod is actually quite ridiculous. So notice how fast this horse is. I don't think I'm going to have a problem so long as we can avoid trees. Also, this thing jumps so high that it could probably just enter into the treetops. But yes, this thing right here, this horse is something else. Just the sheer speed. Okay, here we are on Soul Sand. So yes, it has a tremendous amount of speed and is what I plan on using to get to my locations. This is just ridiculous. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if there's anything faster than this. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. I would love to know. What's the fastest way? I even, in a test world, tested out the Rending Gale. Nothing seemed to really work. I'm pretty sure there's a ton of things sort of blacklisted. I almost wonder if the R spellbook is the only thing that allows you to sort of dash around. But even that spellbook may be disabled. I have no idea. So I thought, you know, why not just use a horse to travel around? Oh, also, if you thought you're going to use a quarry in this dimension, I'm also pretty sure that quarrying is disabled here as well. So keep that in mind if you think you're going to try and quarry out one of these dungeons. Man, I love this so much. This horse is just so fast. This has got to be the fastest way to travel around. Like, it's got to be. There's no other way I could think of that could get you to travel faster, except for maybe like something that could teleport you randomly. But yeah, I'm probably the only one who's going to end up developing a horse meta. Oh goodness. Now, this is the pyramid. This isn't exactly the structure I'm looking for to be able to find that template, but it is worth trying and to find one of these and definitely setting a point here, as this is where piglets are going to spawn. So getting them to spawn is one story. Oh, there's one right here. So let's see. They have 1,000 health, by the way, but we should be able to, I think, pick them up within a quantum catcher. So can I pick them up? Yes. So I can pick them up in the quantum catcher. And so if I wander over here and I just simply plop them in a hole, this is where we're going to really see the power of this sort of unfold. So let's get this little hole dug out, just like this. All right, and so I'm going to place them in here. Now, we're just going to see this alone. Look how quickly we can just take this guy out by simply swiping our sword. If I had an auto clicker, this would be so quick. But this right here is how we're going to probably kill our first few piglets. It's probably, though, a good idea to just simply take this guy with me before doing this. And we'll just take him with me. That way I can take him home. And well, there's something else that we're going to have to worry about later on, and that's farming these hearts. And that is where taking this with me and actually farming it later is going to come into handy. Now, inside these structures are just a ton of spawners. So I do have night vision, but this is actually what it looks like. So it is pretty dark in here without night vision. Definitely recommend getting some sort of night vision. But yeah, we're going to be breaking a ton of chests. But look at here. Tons of enchanted books, tons of noises, all kinds of goodies. But these chests right here can actually have all the modium and unobtainium in them. Now, I definitely want to come back to this later, so I set a waypoint because piglets actually naturally spawn in here. So you can just leave the area, come back, and there's a chance that more of these have spawned, because we're going to need to kill a few of them in order to be able to make infinite amounts of piglet hearts. Now, back to our regular scheduled programming. That's right, we need to find ourselves the dungeon. That's the thing we're really after. This dungeon has got to be one of the most elusive things, because I can't for the life of me get it to even show up on the compass. Now, I've been told that it is very, very far out, so like past the 10,000 inside of the X or Y coordinate, or Z, X or Z coordinate. So I'm trying to just head off in like a direction that takes me out that way. And so I'm just hoping that eventually I hit a point where it does finally ping one. I will say though, there are some pretty interesting biomes that I'm stumbling upon. This being one of them. Soul logs are pretty cool. Finally, I got it to actually pull up. So I'm about 8,000 in the negative and 30,000 in the positive. So yes, it is apparently off in this direction, and it's still 8,000 blocks out. Oh my. So that leads me to believe that it is definitely, the dungeon at least may have a chance of spawning outside of that that 10,000 block range, whether that's in the negative or positive. To me, that's very reminiscent of how the like draconic evolution sort of dragon spawns. It always spawned at like that 10,000 mark. This also could just be very bad luck. I don't know. I'm almost there. If only it could stay this way with no trees in the way. That's the big thing with the horse. It doesn't like trees or accidentally falling into a massive ravine. That's another thing that this horse does not do well with. I mean, he can jump incredibly high. Just look at this. That is insanely high. It has no problem reaching the peaks. But yeah, it does take fall damage. And when it does take a lot of fall damage, you can just pop off and resummon a new one. It's so nice. This is actually really cool. Now see, I don't think I would have ever used this horse, even though it's insanely practical. I don't think I ever would have used it had I not been limited by the no-fly zone. Now we're getting insanely close. You could just see how quick this is. The chunks don't even have time to load. Oh, because of how fast the horse is. So I've already passed it apparently. I don't even know how, but apparently the dungeon is over here. It's through this. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So this is the dungeon. Now, horse, I need you to stay here. Now, it will despawn after a certain period of time, but this is what we want. Now, here's a quick tip. I recommend just claiming the area because there are going to be a lot of creepers that spawn, and I'm pretty sure that this will prevent them from breaking things. But there's another thing that we're gonna have to keep in mind. Yeah, as you see, the creepers are just going to spawn. A lot of these mobs that are in here, a lot of them have a chance of dropping a reliquary drop. And it is going to be really, really nice if we can take those reliquary drops, which we should be getting. And make charms from them. So it's hard for me to actually see because it's all going in here. But we should over time get charms from killing enough of these things. And that is going to be insanely helpful because if we can kill, for example, enough of these guys, they'll ignore us if we have the charm on. So it'll be as if we're not even there. That is going to be one of the best ways, I think, to go through this area. Now, I am noticing I haven't had any luck, so I don't know if maybe they are blocked from spawning. I've not gotten any of the little shards. But these are the things I'm talking about from reliquary. If you find these charm fragments, you're going to want to combine them eventually. You're going to need 6 of them to make a charm. And so that will help prevent things. But in our case, we should be able to get by with just using our spells right here. So like this spell alone is insanely powerful in an AoE and will prevent these mobs from really bothering us all that much. But I think I'm going to need some blocks now that I look at it to maybe get out of the way from time to time. But down here is where we need to go. So yeah, I've got to sort of make my way down here. That might be harder, easier said than done. Oh, there's the ladder. So yeah, let's start making our way down here. Oh boy. Just the mobs alone are going to be kind of crazy. But yes, the further I go down into the dungeon, we need to look for a library as that's where we're going to find our template. My backpack is already filling up with so much loot. Okay, so right here, this is it. This is where these guys go a little bit hectic. And you know what? I don't know if torches would help us in this situation. Oh boy, we don't have like a lot of magic resists. So I have a feeling this is not going to be very good. I could still die. I'm not like impervious to death. Oh, the sounds is just way too much. Way too much to deal with right now. This is honestly kind of ridiculous. I want to make some torches. There's just so much going on. Okay. We're going to have to break through here. Okay. There we go. I couldn't imagine doing this without our gear we have. This is just a lot. This is a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's get rid of the guy making all the music. Holy smokes. There's just so many of them. This is really going to help, I think. Using this thing. I don't even know what... How do I get rid of these guys? Okay, I actually have to break the spawners. There's no way I'm getting through this without breaking the spawners. Whoo, there's a lot going on. Thank goodness for this AoE. Because this is a lot. Like, there's a lot spawning here. Way more than I thought there would be. Let's see. And this AoE bomb thing is really coming in handy. We just gotta clear out all of these spawners. Wow. All right, so I found more of these guys that are spawning. This is definitely the thing that needs to go. Just so many spawners. I could not imagine coming down here with a lower NPC. This would be impossible. These are so interesting. These are pig spawners. I know I really should be taking these normal spawners with silk touch, but I don't have my pick on that has silk touch, so should definitely switch to that. There we go. Yeah, these are just pig spawners, interestingly enough. I love pigs. Let's take these. Okay. Yeah, because these are some pretty powerful spawners. So I'm interested to see how these all could be used in the future. But I've got most of the loot now cleared out. Most of these areas sort of cleared out. There's still a lot to go. Oh, right here, though. This is a library. This is a library. So, yes, I need to get this area cleared out if I can. Oh, man, just as many of these as I can cleared out to sort of stop this madness from happening. Oh, boy. Man, this spellbook, though, is... I'm honestly loving the AoE from this. That makes this a piece of cake. Yes, let's get rid of those. I think there's some upstairs, too. Oh, boy. So, yeah, we definitely want to get rid of these. It's all the little guys, too, that's really annoying. So glad we have the knockback resistance, because that is so important right now. Yep, I'm going to try and get another fortify in. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm attacking these upper areas, because it seems like it helps clear out these guys. If I attack up here, it'll help clear out some of these little fellas. Wow, after clearing out a ton of upper layers and lower layers, I think we now have gotten to a point where it's like clear enough to not be like crazy to think to loot now. So the majority of the spawners have been broken, which is like, it has to happen. Like, you have to take out these spawners. It would be ridiculous for you not to do that. Whoo! Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's even more rolling in as I'm speaking. But yes, the majority of these are fine. And this is the room that we actually need to find the template in. So I'm hoping that we can find the templates. Let's open up some of these chests. Not in that one. Not in that one. There it is. So we now have ourselves a template, and that is the main thing that I was needing, is that template right there. But of course, I do want to loot some more, and we do have all of this. Oh, there's the Vindicator charm fragments. Oh, I hope we have way more charm fragments built up in my backpack. I didn't see any. Let's see. Oh, we do have enough Vindicator charms. So we have enough Vindicator charms, I think, to craft a Vindicator charm to prevent us from them seeing us. No, we're missing one out of all of them that I killed. Oh no, we have Vex as well. Oh, Vex would be so nice. We only have 4 of those. I feel like throughout this entire thing, though, I have destroyed a ton of these things. Like, I've got to check my stats after this, but let's see if we can find another one. Oh, there's a graceful sword. This looks like it's epic gear, not mythic this go around. Tons of all the Modium nuggets and tons of enchanted books. Might take all the Modium nuggets. Wouldn't hurt. Yeah, this is a lot of epic based gear. Let's check out this little area. It does have a spawner in here. Oh, it's more of these guys. Yeah, get out of here, Evoker. There's some gold. Some more enchanted book and some all the Modium. But this right here is actually kind of nice to get some gold here. Too shapeless. Oh, and there's diamond. Ah, there's a spawner. What about the lava? Aha, there is a chest here too. And yep, it's roughly the same gear. So that's something that I'm noticing. We're finding epic base gears. I'm surprised that we don't find the mythic in here, but it makes sense. That's fine. Amethyst clusters. We are lava resistant, by the way. And as far, I mean, just so many enchants. That's the thing I'm going to take away from this, is you can just come in here and get tons of enchanted books and a little bit of vibranium. But other than that, nothing too magical, except for a lot of mobs. There's just so many mobs. That is something that we've got to deal with. Oh boy. Same thing goes here, but diamonds. Now I'm going to go ahead and start working my way out of here, but my goodness, what a crazy little biome and crazy little dungeon there. There's just so much going on. I couldn't imagine though, with just the sheer lag that I was getting from that, so many mobs spawning all at once. That's a lot to deal with. So now time to get out of here. Whew. What a challenge that was. But it was actually really fun. And I'm glad that I over prepped, because I was taking a lot of damage in there, even with this gear. A lot of magic based damage. So yes, definitely worth having some magic protect on there, because it might save you. Now I definitely want to be able to come back here. So the other doom. Yes, the other doom. So this right here will allow me to come back, and I'm probably going to want to come back at some point, just because there's probably going to be some helpful things I can grab from here, whether that's mobs or what have you. But we've technically got the thing we need to make our gear unobtainium, which will only protect us more. What a journey that was. Now I did set up an auto depositor right here that has some stack upgrades, and we can just simply take our backpack that has all of this stuff in it, and it will then insert it automatically for us into our system, so we don't have to go through it all. I can just simply place it here, and it's all gone in a matter of a blink of an eye. But man, we got a lot of gems from that. So that's definitely worth farming for gems. That's an easy way to do it, and definitely an easy way to farm all of this particular epic gear. Now with our newfound smithing template, it is now time for us to upgrade this bad boy and upgrade all of our gear now with the unobtainium that we just farmed last episode. So there we go. 6 should be more than enough. Actually, no, we need 1 more, right? To make sure we leave ourselves with 1. And let's grab our unobtainium and let's get that processed by simply placing it in here. Boy, it is nice to have some flight. So we'll place that inside of here, and that will get auto processed. Look at that go. And then we should be able to pull out all of our unobtainium just like that. Oh, this is gonna be so good. And it retains all of its stats, by the way. So that is something to keep in mind whenever we're upgrading this gear. It looks so good. When we're upgrading our gear, it keeps its stats, but the base is just going to increase based off of the upgrade from the unobtainium. So there we go. There's that. And then our chest piece, our leggings, and then our boots. And now we have some of the nicest gear in the game. And then I don't know if I should take my spells out here. I really should. It says 13 spell slots. Does it tell me? Surely it's not going to take my spells out of here. So I'm just going to do that. Yeah, no, it didn't. Okay, we're good. I should trust that, but you never know. And then our pickaxe is the final thing, and probably one of the most important. We now have the indestructible, which it was already indestructible, but we now have an upgraded pickaxe. And that's it. We now have unobtainium tools. Oh boy. And we are fully kitted out. Oh, and we got a free Tim pad. Oh, that's super nice. Tim pads are so cool. We can actually travel to any of our current waypoints because of this. Because any of the ones we put down, it automatically knows that. So we can say, let's teleport to our base, right? And we'll click the teleport button, and it generates a Tim pad portal. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Where's another one? Let's go to base, right? So it does have a cooldown. Noticed how quick that portal was up. It does have a 3-minute cooldown. We should have walked through it, but it would have teleported me over there. So now with our gear fully upgraded, remember that firebolt spell? Yeah, it now is rapid fire. Yeah, this, oh my gosh, like with it hitting a target. And these do so much damage apiece, 38 damage apiece. It's just ridiculous. And I love it so very much. Now we have the top tier gear, but we do not yet have the top tier weapon. And I would say the Ultimatium alloy blade is the best weapon. And then of course we would want to have the Paxil right here as well. And this is going to require us to get into Ars Nouveau a little bit and also more of Mystical Agriculture. But I think overall this is going to be easy to do, not too bad, but we are going to need to mix our metals together, and it's going to require that Piglet heart that I mentioned at the beginning of today's episode. So there's still a lot that we need to do. We still need to beef up our power, and we still need to get a few more resources automated. But I did go ahead and get an area set up and ready to go for tons of our magic mods. So this is going to be plenty of space for and room to decorate for all of our magic based needs. There's several magic mods in this pack, and I can't wait to get into all of them. And having this big area over here that I've sort of laid out is going to be perfect for that. But that will have to wait until another episode, because today we are all out of time. And guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a huge thumbs up. And well, it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. Oh, but I almost forgot one thing. I forgot to upgrade my sword. There we go. Now we have our sword upgraded even more, as if it wasn't powerful enough. But yes, I do want to give a huge thanks that goes out to that one guy. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord. And if I can get some white dye on here, there we go. Things will be looking pretty good. So if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, go to discord.gg/ChosenArchitect and join the amazing community today. If you're looking for help for how to get through something, we have an amazing community over there that is no problem helping you out. And also, if you're a supporter of any tier, you get access to world downloads. So be sure to check that out as well. And we also do have sub servers for those who are of certain tiers. So be sure to all check that out. Guys, I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And yet again, as always, thanks for watching. Bye.